What's up, glitches? And welcome to my rambling review of the best Paper Mario game. Shots fired. But for real, this is Bug Fables. This is my rambling review of Bug Fables, how do you say, what's the word I'm looking for? Tribute. A tribute to the good old days of Paper Mario, Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door, Super Paper Mario to some extent. But what I'm about to say might be considered heresy, or even blasphemous. Bug Fables is better. It's like, okay, so let me get to the point. Bug Fables is a turn-based RPG in the style of classic Nintendo Paper Mario and Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door specifically. However, it is featuring a bunch of bugs. Admittedly, bugs in a cute art style, but bugs nonetheless. Like, you know, the person on the right is V, they're a bee. The one in the middle is Kabu, he's a beetle. And this one is some kind of moth. Honestly, I can never remember exactly what he is. But yes, he's a moth of some kind. I forget his name. It's been a while. But, it's been a while and he's the one that talks the least. But, this is, you know, everything is flat, everything is paper, everything flips around. Ignore the walking berry with a mouth. Ignore that. Not important. But, it's a turn-based RPG with a fun world. It is designed around the idea, what if we made Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door for, like, the people who grew up with Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door? So, what you get is essentially Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door, but with bugs, and with a much, much darker tone. Granted, it's still it's a relatively silly RPG on the whole, but a much darker tale with a lot of darker themes interspersed between moment-to-moment action, unlike most Mario games in general. There is some actually kind of sad and, like, dark moments in the plot that are legitimately good, surprising, and mature. You know, because it's for the people who grew up playing these games. But for the most part, it is just a really solid turn-based RPG with a fantastic soundtrack and a ton of charm. There are tons of NPCs. You probably saw a few in the town that we passed by. There's tons of enemies everywhere. The music is good. The combat is good. The style is, I would say, one of a kind, but we all know it's that it's not exactly one of a kind. It is very clearly imitating the classic Paper Mario style. But honestly, that's what people would want. You know, if you're one of those people who have been, you know, saying for years, man, I wish they would remake Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door. Well, first off, they are. at the time of this recording, they are. They're remastering it with brand new graphics and assets to make it look nice. But if you don't have the patience to wait until then, I beg you to give Bug Fables a shot. You can beat this game in about 35-ish hours. It's not a short game. It's pretty long for a kiddie-looking RPG. 30 to 35 hours. In this file in particular, I have 47, almost 48 hours at the time. Because, like, you get side quests here. I've done them all. Oh, actually, you know what? You get side quests from all these characters, miniature stories, every playable character. Kabu, V, and Mr. Moth here, that I can never remember the name of. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's just not coming to me. Have like their own personal side quests and goals and ambitions, and at the very beginning of the game, they don't get along. They do not get along. This isn't like some little kid, you know, little kid's first RPG, although it probably could be, where, you know, the three characters meet up and suddenly they're immediately friends. No, they kind of hate each other at the start. And some characters in particular take a while to, you know, to come out of their shells, so to speak. Oh, credits. Well, here's a sneak peek at, like, what to expect. Don't pay too much attention, but honestly, it's not much more I can really say. It's just, if you like Paper Mario, specifically Paper Mario the 1,000-Year Door, you will like this game. That's just a fact. That it's hard to describe it, because if I describe it, it's literally just Paper Mario the 1,000-Year Door. Just slightly more mature and with bugs. There's multiple bug kingdoms that you can go to, lots of silly side quests like this movie theater thing that I'm doing right now that can get you easy money in like the mid to late game. There's badges and badge points, or quote-unquote bug points, that you can equip, and accessories essentially to boost your stats and everything. In the combat, you have, you know, attack, turn relay, I'll explain, strategies, which will let you run away, swap positions, and spy. Spy letting you see the enemy's health and a small little funny bio on them, or do nothing if you really want to. You can use items. You'll eventually be able to cook items, you know, bring multiple items to a chef, and they'll be able to whip up some free stuff for you. You can use all kinds of fancy schmancy skills to inflict massive damage. And if you really want to, right now, like, you can just swap between which party members to use. Kabu being the big, tanky, hard-hitting front man that can flip enemies onto his back. Mothman here, that I could, again, apologies, I just can't remember his name, can do, like, the equivalent of ice magic. And just, like, freeze enemies or hit multiple enemies with a freezing ice cube. Or V here, who specializes in long-range combat, most likely best used in the back. And can hit enemies that are flying in the air, unlike the other two. I only got it twice. And here you would get exploration points, EXP, but I'm already max level. So let that tell you how much I like the game. But this game has like optional side quests, amazing main stories. The boss fights are amazing, and each boss fight has their own exclusive boss music. And every single boss track in this soundtrack slaps hard. Just take my word for it. Please, look up the soundtrack if anything. Like, it's a fantastic soundtrack. And if this game, honestly, if this game was a little shorter, like, right, again, it's 35 hours to beat the game. I have, like, 40-something hours because, well, I wanted to 100% it. I wanted to do every single... I didn't 100% it. I didn't end up 100%ing it. But I ended up doing, like, every important side quest. You can press buttons and mash buttons when the enemies are attacking you to defend yourself. And you can use turn relay to essentially give one character's turn to another character. But they balance that out by, like, letting you... by weakening... Like, I just gave V all 3 turns for each character. But... right now... 5 damage, and if V were to attack again, it does 4 damage, and then if I did it again, it would do 3 damage, and that's how they balance out the fact that you can give one character. You can give your strongest character 3 turns, or you can give, the Mothman, he has, like, some, healing abilities and status effects you can use between, or, the bee that can heal. Or Kabu has some defense up abilities and some status effects that he can inflict. But, like, you can give every character as much time or as little time as you want, but they will get, like, their own story missions that unlock new abilities, side quests that unlock, like, little bits of their personality, show little bits of their personality and growing, optional bosses, bounty boards, arenas. I pressed the button wrong. And as I stated before, there's also, like, there's multiple kingdoms. So... ow, I didn't press it right enough. But, like, you can time your attacks to land stronger hits. Or mess them up to do terrible hits like me. Like that. You can block hits like that. You can equip badges that have all kinds of effects. I'll show those off after this. And it's just Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. I know it's probably beating a dead horse, but it's literally just Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door, but slightly more mature and for bugs. And with bugs. With a new age, with a soundtrack made with, like, new, music creators, and, again, the soundtrack is phenomenal. If I can, I'll show you some boss music. But, like, it's so good. Okay, tell you what, I'll show you some boss music right now just to wrap things up. But, like, take my word for it, please, go look up the soundtrack, go look up the game. You could probably get it for, I want to say 20 to 30 bucks tops. On, like, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But you can find it on most consoles and PC. And you can, and it's not very expensive. It's, you know, 35 hours. It's a very, very good, relatively beginner-friendly RPG with a cute art style and enough maturity here that if you're an adult, you will like it. Okay? So just take my word for it. Please, I beg you. And, that's pretty much it. I'll leave you with, just the game, visuals, and, the boss music that's gonna play in a moment. But But before I show you the boss music, I will say, small post-game spoiler. Okay? Post-game spoiler. No plot spoiler, post-game. See you around, glitches. Hope you look up the game. Hope you tried the game. It's amazing. And hot take, it is better than any of the Paper Mario games. I mean it. That's all. Bye-bye.